Hello, everyone, and welcome to photography at Yerba Buena High School. I am Mr. Lowe.
And I'm Mr. Heng.
And we both teach photography at Yerba Buena High School. And in photo one, we're going to go over the fundamentals of the fundamental concepts of making photos and the context of photos and the history of photography. One of the first projects that we do is light writing. This is one of the first projects because it helps students understand the basics of photography in a fun way. Taking pictures of moving lights, as you can see in the video here, in a dark space, allows us to use what we call a slow shutter speed. And towards the end of this video, it's going to show us the end results over here on the back of the screen. But on the next slide, I do have some finished examples of what that would look like. So these are some examples of pictures we do in the classroom in the first week of school. We also do a lot of photo editing. We use photo editing apps to correct the exposures. We recover highlights, we enrich dark areas, we enhance shadows, and even remove pimples. Another thing that we do is studio portraits. We both have a lot of experience in portraits, so we teach students how to do studio lighting with professional lighting techniques. You see there's a lighting diagram down here, and there's an example of one of those photos there. Here's some more examples that were all taken by students, and they learn different types of studio lighting. Another project that we do is black and white photography, but we do this with digital color photos, and we have a process of desaturating those color photos to bring out certain areas and enhance certain areas of the black and white photo that just can't be done in the traditional process.
Extremely useful to go ahead and desaturate, especially if we have like distracting colors in the background, and it lets us like really emphasize on the subjects that we want to emphasize in our photos.
That's right. Another thing that we do is nature photos. We learn how to use different apertures to create focus in the camera. We can also use different apertures to decide how much is in focus. And we also use Photoshop to enhance those pictures to really bring out the colors and the feeling that we had when we were actually on site. Product photography is another thing that we do in the classroom where students are bringing objects in and we are setting up lights, we are setting up the props and backgrounds to really sell a product that a customer might want to buy. We also learn about Photoshop. This is one of the projects that I do with my students where we are making our own fantasy creatures and we write stories about them to make something original and new with their own stories that they're making. We also use this to do some abstract art, like you can see here. There's some different combinations of photo montage and surrealism and different ways to combine photos in a different kind of abstract way to reference the ideas that are more than just, the normal portraits.
And then over here in my classes, I'm going to go ahead and just, cover a couple of other Photoshop assignments. So here we have double exposures, and it's just the idea of slapping two images together and then seeing how they interact with each other. And so it's a nice experimental way to make portraits a little bit more fun. And then we have an assignment where we do multiplicity. It's where we make clones of ourselves throughout the frame. We learn a lot about like managing layers and making sure that the blending is all correct. And then lastly, it's like a digital collage. I mean, there are other assignments that we both cover, but here are some of the major ones. Digital collages is just the idea of finding images online and then cutting out what we need from them and then blending them into one picture to make it, make a story to tell.
All right, that's the end of our slideshow. I hope you learned something about Photo One, and we hope to see you signing up for our classes. Bye, everybody.
Bye.